probably start. We're 5 minutes on the yeah. Oh, I thought it started at 5. 4:55. I mean, actually, you could keep that.
Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Yesterday's loss of North Georgia United highlighted the moment of crisis of Fosuena's team and opened the doors for that 8th spot valid for the playoffs. On the other hand, Georgia Revolution may be outside of the title race with Kalonji Pro profile, but that 2nd spot in the league would still be a great advantage in the later stages of the playoffs. Much to play for, much to lose, especially for SSL, which is skating on the thin ice, dividing relegation and a chance for playoffs. So let me tell you this, from the Shiloh High School Stadium in Snellville, SSL plays Georgia Revolution. I'm Massimo Balù. Thank you for tuning in. And let's look back at the results from yesterday's game. We saw Kalonji Pro Profile beating North Georgia United 4-0. A game that saw many things that we weren't expecting, starting from the fact that Kalonji scored in the first 2 minutes. The game was postponed of an hour because of bad weather. And then the team coached by Bruno Kalonji took over, even though they received a red card at minute 62 of the first half. Somehow we had a 15-minute long stoppage. And then they took over again and scored a 10 versus 11, the 4th goal. Delta United also beat Birmingham FC 5-0. And as we see, the other games were postponed, bad the weather. And so Limeño Georgia and the Albion SC, Filial Pachuca, and FC Columbus Elite will play another time. And that will be very important to understand who will be in the playoffs, who will be relegated. So many things to be established with only 2 games left in the season. Because at this point, we see Kalonji Pro Profile with 28 points flying away from Potros FC. And in fact, they only need 2 ties to automatically win the league because of the goal difference they have with Potros FC. Then we have Georgia Revolution, as we said, that they want that 2nd spot, big advantage in the playoffs. You want to make your season as smooth as possible, and they've done very well. They've won a lot of games. They might just as well continue today against SSL, which is, as we said, on that thin ice between relegation and playoffs. It's either hell or paradise, and it's going to be very fun to see if they will take their pride out today and take away 3 points unexpectedly from Georgia Revolution. But there's also to consider that Dalton, with their win, they surpassed UMA and Georgia Athletic and Limeño Georgia. Let's listen to the national anthem, and then we'll tune back in. Let's not waste any time and get into the starting formations of the team. Starting from SSL, Ndiaye playing as number 1 as goalkeeper. And then defense of 4, Kante, Orson, Gapia, Chavez. Midfield of 3, Oziegebe, Biteye, and Nassim. And finally in the offense, Costa, Kosoko, and Ibrahim. On the other side for Georgia Revolution, again a 4-3-3 in the goal. Ward, Corona starting from right to left. Keroman, Green, and Gomez. In the midfield, Saucedo, Powell, Atencio. And finally, Dixon, Scarrett, and Neto will try to penetrate the defense of SSL today to take the 3 points they want and they need to be fighting there with Potros for the second position. We were talking about important games yesterday. We said that Dalton surpassed UMA, Georgia Athletic, and Limeño, Georgia. So very good win for them. And there's a big game coming up, especially between UMA and Georgia Athletic. We could say it's a 6-pointer game since they have 17 and 18 points. And whoever wins would take that spot right now occupied by Dalton in 4th position. As we're used to, last conversation between the man of Georgia Revolution circling up. Last few wise words from the captain. And in a few minutes or seconds, we will be able to start at the Shiloh Stadium in Snellville. Both teams playing with a 4-3-3. We know that Georgia Revolution likes to play with those left and right back, especially Cristian Corona, who's been doing a phenomenal season. He's only 18 years old, and he's been mentioned by many who follow Georgia Revolution as one of the top players, surprising everybody. He plays defense, he plays offense. He's a modern right back. And we could say he knows how to do it all, and he could be important even in this game. We'll see Georgia Revolution in white and red and SSL in blue. Referees today, Sheva Rezei, and we have the assistant referee, Griffin Westbrook, Adonis Merritt, and Gonzalo Camano. Hopefully everything will go smoothly and we'll see 90 minutes of fun soccer. First ball will be touched by Alique Scarrett, who goes back. Georgia Revolution in possession. Corona will take that throw in. Actually leaves it for Neto. Ndiaye. Kittelman. Corona. The ball is too long. The men in blue have to give up the possession. Good 1-2 there. Through ball. Easy to read. And so the Revs can play again. Corona. Tries to find Atencio and does well. Good 1-2. They take that throw in. Corona on the throw. Atencio fakes, giving it back to him, then falls on the ground. The referee doesn't call it the first time, but in fact, Atencio did touch the ball with his arm, and so it will be a foul for SSL. Good interception there by Kittelman. And another throw. Good position there. So far in the first minutes, we've seen Georgia Revolution in possession. It will be them doing the game, and SSL probably playing with counterattacks as they try to contain the men in blue. Corona goes in, but the ball is intercepted. Now chance for Biteye, who opens out wide for Nassim. Good movement there, but the ball is cut to horizontally. Easy read for Green. There's a foul now in the middle of the field. Ball out wide for Scarrett. Corona. Ibrahim now. Kosoko trying to open some spaces. So far, neither one of the team has tried too much. It's still a moment of studying each other. Trying to figure out what the next moves will be. Here comes Green. Long ball for Scarrett. The idea was very good. The realization less. But Scarrett appreciates the effort by his teammate and sends a message of kindness. Georgia Revolution coming from a really positive moment. They won 4 out of the last 5 games. And here they come, Atencio. Opens out wide, but nobody's there. And so Conte could go. He's doing a lot of yards with the ball. And then misses the pass. Kittelman. Scarrett opens out wide. Atencio. Scarrett again. Good cohesion between these two. And then SSL takes it back. Conte runs to get the ball. It's very hot today. Very difficult to play when the temperature goes against you. Humidity's high too. Kosoko tries to fight up there for his team, but then loses it. And now comes a shot from the distance. Beautiful save by Ward, who probably wasn't expecting a shot from the 25 line of yards. And we'll give a look at the replay, but let's look at this corner first, because now Georgia Revolution is pressing high. Here comes the ball in, and the ball goes out by nothing. Massive chance for Kittelman, who jumps high above everybody, and then doesn't get to close it in. Here we can see again the shot from the distance and the beautiful save by Diaye. Throw in the middle of the field on the line of the 50. Will be Chavez taking care of it. Biteye loses that ball. And now it's opened out wide. Acosta can't do anything about that. Ball was too long. Let's give a look at the replay again. The massive chance for Kittelman. Did the right movement in there. Jumps higher than anybody. But then hits the ball outside of the post. Another chance. Atencio now. Gustavo Atencio goes back. Corona. Playing with no fear, Georgia Revolution. Beautiful ball for Scarrett. Could go in because Atencio's doing the right movement. Loses the ball for a second, takes it back, and then Gapia comes in and puts it out. A little bit of a tension between the two. But good read by the defender who comes to double up as he saw Orson having a tough time there. Gapia, captain of the team. Nice play there, but the ball goes back to Georgia Revolution. Gomez, Atencio. He likes to play offense, but he comes down to get the ball for himself. And I believe there was a foul there. The referee does not agree with me and allows for the play to continue. Gapia misses the pass, and now, hey, that would have been a good one. It was an important read by Nassim. Pardon, Oziegebe. Give 5 by Kosoko. Thinks about the shot, then goes for the through pass. Misses. It's not over. Ibrahim loses it. And now Scarrett could go on that side. But has 3 men on him. He probably gets the best he could. A throw. And Corona plays it right away. The ball bounces oddly. Kante. Back to Gapia. Gapia goes long. And the ball is still good. No foul. Well, actually, there was a foul on SSL. Probably would have thought the opposite. Since Costa was the one coming with his leg high. Meantime, the referee talks a little bit with Orson. Not sure what the conversation there looked like, but we can continue. Shove. Nice idea there. Nassim takes it back. The ball is still in. Beautiful work by Ibrahim. And then it ends up being a throw. Scarrett. So Sedu goes up. The idea was good again. Tactically, Georgia Revolution is doing very well. Sometimes it's that pass, that technical attention that is missing. But I'm sure that could change along the game. And SSL cannot allow for that moment to come. Kosako, beautiful ball for Scarrett, who probably could change it on the right. But he loses possession just for a second because it goes back. Georgia Revolution. One versus everybody. The shot is deflected by Orson, and here comes the foul. It'll be Gapia taking care of it. Osako changes. Ibrahim passes back. A good tackle there. They take it. Chaos in the field. The ball goes in possession of one and then the other team. Very physical game so far. Players are going at it. And I wonder if they'll be able to keep up for 90 minutes at this pace. So far, two big opportunities for Georgia Revolution, with SSL waiting for the moment to sting. Diaye. Quick, rapid exchanges. Biteye for Nissam. And here comes Scarrett again. Could open out wide, decides to go in the center. Nice play, Scarrett. Doesn't receive a foul, the referee says. Good decision there. And then the mistake occasionally occurs. Good dribbling there by Ibrahim, who tried to go away from 2-3 players and then didn't manage to stay up on his feet. Called for the foul, but the referee did a good job at making sure that the action continued. Green. Long ball for Atencio. Can't be reached. Biteye opens out wide. And here comes the ball. Biteye again. Ibrahim. Very quick on his feet. They have to be careful this time. It's good defending by Corona. Atencio opens out wide with his body and gives a beautiful ball on the other side. Dixon has it, keeps it, and then gives it back to Atencio. Here he comes. Changes on the other side. Atencio again. Misses the pass this time, so SSL goes with a long pass. Here was a foul, a tactical foul, because Kosoko was on his run, receives a foul. Probably he wouldn't have reached that ball, but it's another good choice by the referee to assign the yellow card. We see Biteya deciding to go for that long pass. He saw the movement of Kosoko. They put him down and receive a yellow card. Orson on the ball. He's probably going to try to go for a long pass in. I see Ibrahim, Nassim, Biteya all in. The ball is back on Georgia Revolution. Even though they lose it immediately on a bad pass. Kosoko fights beautifully with his physique, passes in, and Ibrahim misses an important chance to bring his team up one. It seemed obvious that he was going to just tap that ball in, and it just did not occur. Beautiful work by Kosoko, who fights there shoulder to shoulder, wins with strength, passes the ball perfectly in the middle, and Ibrahim leaves that ball behind, as he does with the hopes of SSL to find the goal of the 1-0. Atencio, beautiful 1-2, letting his teammate go on the side. But Orson did a beautiful read. Nice pass there, Orson. Biteya. Nice pass. Now Kante has a little bit of space. Kosoko keeps it in somehow and obtains the throw in. I believe, yes. Good game by Kosoko so far, who's keeping the ball up, not allowing the defenders to take it from him. Instead, he is allowing his teammate to come up to create superiority with numbers in the offense. Throw wasn't taken properly. So now it's for Georgia Revolution. Kante slips a couple times and then passes to Kosoko. Nice pass again by Kosoko. Ibrahim asks it and receives it. He could go inside, then tricks himself, but not Corona, who receives a foul there. Admirable how Kosoko is passing the ball with 1-2 touches, making the pace of the game and the play very high. Corona now. Bad stop, but there's a foul. Clear foul. And yellow card for Chavez. Corona definitely did not stop the ball as he should have. Chavez was late. He probably could have waited for Biteya to get on the ball. He got the wrong timing and a yellow card. Long ball in. Ibrahim, Biteye. Good as changes. Kosoko. Kante takes a good challenge there. Now he can go. Maybe pass it on the right. He does. Kosoko, in the meantime, continues his run to go in the middle because he knows there might be a ball coming in. In fact, here it is. Kosoko! Kicks the ball really hard, but he just doesn't get the goal. Nice effort by him. He started the whole thing. He received the ball in the middle, and then he went for the shot, which unfortunately for him just landed above the post. Good game so far by SSL. They didn't start as good as they're playing now. Ibrahim takes care of this corner. Kosoko in the middle with Biteye, with Oziegebe, with Chavez. Ball coming in. Kosoko! What a save! Unbelievable by Ward with one hand. Great reflexes. Allowed him to keep the game on the 0-0. Another ball coming in. No foul there, says the referee. Let's continue playing. Now counterattack. Good chance here. And the ball is just too weak. He went with the outside of his foot. Didn't find the strength to find number 24 on the other side of the field. Very enjoyable game so far. Opportunities on one side and on the other to score their first goal. Corona. Kittelman. Green. Green by himself and passes it out wide. Gomez takes care of this throw in the line of the 15 yards. Well, he could go for a cross in the middle. Scarrett seems ready. In fact, he receives it, even though it's a little bit too long. No problem for Ndiaye. Gapia. Looking for Kosoko, who comes in and tries to get the ball. He does. Chavez fights there, but loses the ball, takes it back. Now the referee whistles the foul. Not sure if SSL wanted that since Nassim gained possession of the ball. Kosoko plays it quick. Napia. Nassim opens wide for Chavez, but the pass is not his best. Chavez for Ibrahim. Stops the ball well, then Kosoko changes completely on the other side. It's a good ball. Very good ball. Costa. Kosoko from the outside. Ibrahim by himself. Ibrahim! It's an offside. Once again, they're able to turn the ball from one side to the other. Kosoko in the middle. Beautiful movement by Ibrahim. He moved a little too quickly. And as we can see here, Ibrahim did something that seemed like a shot initially, but it was a pass for Ibrahim. Fortunately for them, he was offside. Ibrahim again. Ibrahim on the pressure of Corona. Nice play by Ibrahim, but Corona doesn't want to lose it. Ball change. Costa is on the other side. Tries to obtain a corner. He doesn't, because Kante did good defending of that ball. Green almost loses it there on the pressure of Costa. Attention now with space. Decides to go out wide for Scarrett. Scarrett passes in. Corona. Corona by himself. Pass in for Atencio. Scarrett. Scarrett passes the ball in, and Gustavo Atencio. 1-0 Georgia Revolution. Beautiful combination. The players find one another in triangles, in speed and pace, and then Gustavo Atencio only needs to put the ball in the net. It all started from Corona. Rapid exchanges. Ball for Atencio. Scarrett. He could go for the shot. Decides to be good passing the ball to his teammate, and Gustavo Atencio finds the first goal of the day. Goal number 6 in Atencio's season. He's been one of the protagonists so far for his team. He made his team win the derby against the Albions SC. He scored the goal of the 2-1. Very important game, always the derby. The Geranium Derby, which, takes the nickname for the city of McDonough, which is called the Geranium City. And in fact, it hosts their annual Geranium Festival since 1977. Gustavo Atencio. He was born in Argentina. We said top scorer, 6 goals. But then there's one player that Coach Morrison has not taken out all season. He started all games. He started 11 games, today 12. Chris Corona. They call him Iron Man because he's always running. He seems he's like a machine. Can run up and down the field no matter what the temperature is. Again, surprise of the season. And then Daniel Rohr, he's done 5 assists this season. He's sitting on the bench today. Not feeling his best. So Morrison wanted to at least let him rest at the beginning. Maybe we'll see him in the second half. And SSL is definitely going to try to fix this game, bring it on the 1-1. But it's going to be hard. Georgia Revolution has proven themselves to be a very tough team to play. They've been the only team in the entire season and past season to beat Kalanji Pro Profile. Here we see the replay of the goal. Corona exchanges. Ball for Atencio. Scarrett. Pass once against to Atencio. And that's an easy goal, but it's the way they got to that position that matters. That shows the preparation of Alec Morrison and the way they interpret the offense game. Again, very interesting because Atencio is not really a striker. He plays behind the striker. And he is the top scorer of the team. They don't really have one who has scored many goals like, for example, North Georgia United, who has Maradiaga and Lom. They don't have the Embomio of Potros. But with their midfielders and with the effort of all the players in the team, they're able to pull off really good results. And it's going to be interesting to see what they will be able to do in the playoffs. And if they will find again Kalanji Pro Profile and beat them for the second time this season. I'm sure the players are enjoying this cooling break. Very hot outside, very humid. Very tough to play in these conditions. Some arguments happening on the bench of SSL. Somebody on the bench received a red card unexpectedly and another yellow card. And now the anger of the players of SSL, and that is not a smart move. Here comes the red card. The red card for Conte, who doesn't react properly to it. He threw a bottle on the ground, received a red card. And I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but there's a lot of tension on the bench of SSL, and they did not want to see something like this. Even Orson received a yellow card. Very not happy to see this red card at Conte. He was playing a very good game, pushing on that right side, and this is going to make it much easier for Georgia Revolution. I don't know what happened, the crisis on the bench of SSL that brought to this anger during the cooling break. Instead of cooling up, the players have been heating up. And here comes the red card. Conte seemed very, very upset, and I'm not sure what happened between him and the referee. But he threw his bottle of water on the ground with force, and the ref turned around, had no thoughts about it, gave him a red card. Between yesterday and today, I'm seeing a lot of red cards, unusual red cards. The one yesterday at the 62nd minute of Kalanji Pro Profile in North Georgia United, 62nd minute of the first half. This one today during a cooling break. We're probably going to have to write that in the records. And Conte here goes back to the referee to shake her hand. He talked to the team. He realized probably didn't want to go in bad terms with the ref, especially since they consider how many games he will be off. And there will be a cost. Receiving a red card, there will be fines for SSL. So not something they want to happen on the field like that. In the meantime, we can look at the top scorers of the season. We were talking about Nazario Mbomio with 12 goals. Ronald Maradiaga, we saw him yesterday in the game between Kalanji Pro Profile and North Georgia United. He didn't find the goal. He still has 2 games. And maybe he'll be able to pass over Mbomio. Not a lot has been played since the goal of Georgia Revolution, but we're starting back in Kosoko. Hopefully we'll be able to see SSL answering well after this negative moment that brought the red card for Conte. Kittelman. Opens out wide. And that's a good read by Orson. Gomez lets the ball come in. Atencio was ready to score another one. Shot from the distance, deflection, it's not over, scare it. And then Orson, Atencio gets it back with a foul. Right reading by Orson, who jumps in exactly when he was needed to avoid the goal of the 2-0, which would have definitely psychologically put the team coached by Alan Reed down. There's a clear foul here on Kosoko. Meantime, the ball is played for Ibrahim, but the ref wanted to make sure Kosoko's doing fine, and he is. The rule is the refs should stop the game whenever the players get hit in the head. That's what the decision was here. Xavi. Biteye. Receives a foul here. Long ball in. Too long. Maybe not for Orson, who keeps it in and obtains the throw in. In the meantime, Portugal and Spain are playing the final of the Nations League, with Portugal now leading in the penalties. Let's go back to the soccer that really matters. UPSL. Scarrett touches with his hand. Another free kick in a good position for SSL. Kosoko on the ball. I wonder if he's going to try to go for the shot. The wall is up against him. It looks like he will. Kosoko. Easy catch for Ward. You do want players like Kosoko to get as involved as possible. So far, the best player for SSL. Him and Ibrahim. Corona receiving the ball. Looks for the movement of Atencio, but then decides to go back. Kittelman. Green. Gomez. Ball is too long for Dixon. He tries to go for that run. Nothing to do, though. Kosoko fighting by himself for his team, obtaining a throw. Admirable work, but the throw, well, the ref says the throw is for Georgia Revolution, so we start back from Kittelman. Corona opens out wide to receive the ball, and here he does. Corona. Powell. Corona. Atencio calls it in. Bad pass. Ibrahim takes it. Kosoko goes too long. It's high respect for the speed of Ibrahim, but how fast can a man be? Corona. Kittelman. Long ball. Good read by Orson, but it's not over. Throw for Georgia Revolution. We're talking about Corona playing all 11 games. Well, Alec Morrison changed the starting 11 times. 12 today. Ball in the middle, deflection, throw. Atencio passes back to Kittelman. Powell. Green could go for the shot there. Decides to go for it. Had that last touch. The ball went a little too far from him and couldn't find the coordination because his last step was too long. Let's look at that replay. See, Powell sees him. He understands he has space, doesn't control the ball properly, and then that last step is just a bit too long, and so he can't give force to that ball. That's a good ball at keeping it, and then he finally receives a foul. So far, SSL has been able to keep it up. It's not the first half that worries me, but it's the second one after they will have to deal with the pressure on their legs. 70, 80 minutes on their legs, and then having to continue at a different pace because that will be the ending result of having to play that long of a game, 10 versus 11. This point. 5 minutes of extra time. Considering the cooling break, red cards, goal celebration. 5 minutes. Corona. Scare it. Corona, salver pause. Powell. Gomez tries to go away from Ibrahim. He does. Ibrahim tries the pressure. Cross in the middle. And then it's thrown out. Another cross in. About to happen, no, because there's the interception of Kosoko. Throw for SSL. Nassim. The ball was already out. Beautiful fight by Kosoko there. He was going away. The referee still decided to give him a foul. He's not happy, but probably considering the situation he was in, considering he wanted to pass the ball to Ibrahim, who had 2 men on him, probably wasn't a bad choice by the ref. Nassim Kosoko defends the ball properly again, receives another foul. Precious work by Kosoko. And he makes Gomez get a yellow card too. A lot of yellow cards. The ref definitely did not forget those in the locker room. So far, the defense of Georgia Revolution has been really struggling handling Kosoko. His force, his physical strength have been the X factor that may lead to several opportunities coming up. And he's in the box waiting for that cross, hoping to smash the ball in the net. Orson, Ibrahim, Biteye, Oziegebe. Ball comes in. Corona takes it, and now we have to be careful because they could go for the counterattack. Corona brings it on. Waits just a second too long. Finally passes, but it's too late because Biteye somehow slowed down the action. And the ref gives a foul here in favor of Georgia Revolution, I believe. The game was getting very aggressive, but it was all due to Corona coming up with the ball. You know, probably should have passed the ball just a little bit earlier. Lost that time of play. And then Biteye tried everything to stop the action. Even the center back, Gapia, came in the action to try to stop it. And I'm confused on what the choice by the referee is. I think it will be a foul for Georgia Revolution. In fact, it is. Kittelman places the ball for his teammate and goes in the box. He's very tall. He could use those centimeters to jump higher than Orson or Gapia. On the ball, Dixon. Dixon goes in. The ball is nice, but Orson heads it outside. It's the end of the first half. Many things happen. A red card for Conte and a goal by the classic Gustavo Atencio. We'll see you back in 50 minutes after a cold cup of tea. 50 minutes from now. Connecting now back in. Georgia Revolution 1, SSL 0. Many things happened during this first half. And I'm sure we're going to have a chance to give it a look with the replays. Actually, equal game, even though the points in the standings would lead us to believe Georgia Revolution would be dominating. And so they started dominating at the minute 6 with a cross in the middle, coming on the head of Kettelman. It went out just by centimeters. Really important chance to open the game at the beginning. But then the response of SSL came as well. Many opportunities. In fact, really good job by Kosoko, who's been keeping the ball up there. We see it here on the throw. Kosoko defends against Kittelman. Fight of strength there. Passes the ball in, and Ibrahim just forgets the ball. He could have made it 1-0. But he didn't. In fact, they stayed 0-0. And then finally, Georgia Revolution found the goal by the classic Gustavo Atencio, the midfielder that scores and serves assist. It all starts from Corona, passes in, 1-2. And then Atencio has the chance to put it in easily, just like that. Let's go back to the game because we just started this second half with Georgia Revolution in possession. Green. Passes the ball in, but nobody understands what his intention was. Diaye. Orson. Was long for Kosoko. Tries to put that ball down, but it was way too out wide. Costa loses it. Pardon, Dixon. Nassim goes back to his goalkeeper. Kosoko, beautiful pass there again. Ozegebe goes back to him. Kosoko changes. A little too pretentious there. Ibrahim. Orson. Good job by Biteya there, but he goes all by himself, and sooner or later he's going to have to lose that ball. Xavi. Kittelman. Looks on the other side. And finds Saucedo. Atencio, 1-2 here. They have to be careful, SSL. Georgia Revolution has already done it. Cross in the middle, and Orson is there on time. They move through the center, then they open out wide. They're very dangerous because they move the ball very quick from one side to the other. The ball was coming in for Atencio, who doesn't reach it. Orson does, and the ball is back to them. Long one for Kosoko. Classic this game. Receives a foul. And these fouls that he receives really allow his team to gain meters, to gain space, to reorganize, reset, and put dangerous balls in the middle. Orson. Ibrahim is doing the movement. Orson doesn't see him though. Goes back, risky pass because Atencio was there under pressure. Gapia can only do one thing, kick the ball out. And the ref calls for the ball. After Gapia basically kicked it out of the stadium. Rena. Opens right for Gomez. Gomez goes in. Atencio puts that ball down, passes it back. Saucedo almost reaches it. But they continue. Gomez. Gomez goes in, probably receives a foul. The ref doesn't agree. Saucedo. Opens out wide. Dixon goes back. Saucedo with the left foot curves the ball. Bandiaye is ready and puts it in corner. Good job by Dixon. He takes time, goes back, passes the ball to Saucedo with his left foot. Good speed, good twist on that ball. He just needed to find that right corner, which he didn't. Corner kick, cross in the middle. All the towers are in. The ball ends up on the side of Saucedo, but he can't do anything to put it down. Orson changes on the other side for Gapia. Gapia goes up again. Georgia Revolution manages to put the ball down and continue. Ibrahim, a nice play there, but then loses it. Tried to go around his opponent. Ball out wide. Chave. Continues. And the good defending by Orson, who puts it out once again a corner. We can start again. He loses the ball. Saucedo. Powell. Opens wide. Ball in. Kosoko now can keep it down. He does. Passes it to Biteye. Kosoko changes correctly on the other side. Change of game. Probably neither the best idea or the best execution. The ball ends up between the feet of Ward. Scare it. Slow start of the second half. With Georgia Revolution, they have all the interest in the world to put the game to sleep. Maybe score another goal. Just be sure, safe. You never want to keep a game on the 1-0 because anything can happen. And SSL hasn't been looking bad at all today. Gomez goes back. Kosoko by himself. That's all he can do right now. A little too isolated, him and Ibrahim. They're fighting with all they have inside of them. But they need some help, some support from the midfield. Saucedo changes beautifully for Gomez. Here comes from the back the shot, the deflection, the ball goes out. Corner again. He attempted Martin Saucedo to find the goal once again. Some player who just graduated from Georgia State University. And at the same time, we see Gapi on the ground. He got hit really bad where it hurts the most. Only men know that type of pain. Maybe shaking it off like that. We'll get something out of it. Hurts a lot, but he'll be able to come back. Saucedo hit the ball as hard as possible. Probably his target wasn't Gapia, it was the goal, but it happens in soccer. We move on. The captain drinks a bit of water, and then he joins the box to defend his goal. Here comes the ball in. It's a nice one, and there's the goal! Thiago Kittelman! He played an amazing game all the way around. The ball comes in. The tower is ready. Right movement, right execution. Heads it where nobody is. The goalkeeper can't catch that. And Kittelman writes his name today among the scorers. 2-0, Georgia Revolution. And we see Martinez coming in the field for Powell. Substitution on the side of Georgia Revolution right after the goal. Josh Ward with the ball on his feet. Starting keeper. He's also the keeper for St. Kitts, a Nevis national team member. Pretty impressive on his side. They try to come out. There's obviously a foul there on Strain. Green is ready. Passes it back. Gomez. Georgia Revolution right now taking care of the ball. Scarrett goes in for his brother, Striker. One plays in the right back, and the other one is full striker. 1-2s real quick. Beautiful job by Corona. Passes the ball in. Scarrett. Back and another one. 3-0 Georgia Revolution. At this point, SSL has completely given up psychologically, and Georgia Revolution took advantage of that. Ball comes in from Corona. Scarrett passes back. One shot is necessary. 3-0 Georgia Revolution. Goal by Manuel Neto. We see another substitution. Kittelman, author of the goal, coming out. A defender for a defender. Coming in lit. On ball, beautiful control. Strain. Too many men around him now. Ibrahim thinks about changing the game on the other side and then misses the pass. And that's offside. Or it could have been offside because Skerritt did not get interested in the ball as soon as he realized he was offside. And Robinson was running towards the goal. Saucedo coming out. Beautiful his goal. That brought Georgia Revolution on the 2-0. Coming in, Sinclair. Strain obtains the throw. SSL, they've had a hard time finding goals this season. Their top scorers are Ibrahim, who scored 3 goals this season. Beautiful play there. Then loses it. And then Kosoko, who scored only 2. Which is surprising because they played a very good game today until their team received a red card after Conte said a few words against the referee that she obviously did not appreciate. Martinez gives it back. Corona. Walker come in the middle. Beautiful play. Goes away. Turn around the deflection. Somehow SSL saves themselves this point. Robinson gives it back to Martinez. Martinez on the side. A little too long. There was a foul. Or just a throw, pardon. Orson. Ibrahim. Kosoko. Ibrahim all by himself. They need more support up there. Kosoko takes the ball. Passes it back. But there was a foul. The referee allowed the play because SSL had the advantage. But then it did not materialize. And so here they take the free kick. Gapia. Goes in. Orson is there. Could reach it. And it's not even a corner. Instead, it could be a counterattack. Robinson. Change of play. Sinclair misses the right touch with the ball. And so it's SSL again. Strain. You try to go away from this pressure, but it's really difficult. SSL with today, they received 40 goals this season and only scored 23. Something to take into consideration. Obviously, the value of the team is there. But if you allow for things like the one that happened today to occur, it's hard to do very well during the season. You always need to maintain your cool and the emotional level down. That's what professionals do. Robinson. Good ball by Robinson. Garrett. Sinclair tries to reach it, but he can't. Now the ball opens out wide for Ibrahim. He tries to go with his speed. But Green is there. There are going to be 2 substitutions on the side of SSL. I see David Lopez getting ready. I wonder who will come out. And here's a red card. Unbelievable. For Robinson. Again, something was said to the referee, who's pointing the way out to Robinson. And for some reason, he does not seem to be too interested in it. He's standing there on the field, and finally he starts his walk out. I'm sure that's going to be hard for Morrison to understand. And probably SSL now would have wished they had conceded less, because a 10v10 game is much more equal, and they have their shot. And it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to see a reaction by them in the last 20 minutes. Incredible. Bad choices on one side, bad choices on the other. There's clarification with Coach Morrison. He doesn't seem happy. There's a sarcastic smile and then some protests. They don't want to lose any other players, though, so Robinson needs to go in the locker room under the shower. Unimaginable that 2 players have been taken out of the field like that. Probably the heat got to them today, because these are absolutely unacceptable things to see in the field. It's going to be interesting to understand later on what were the reasons and what exactly was said to the referee to have her decide to bring out the red card. Robinson, he came in the second half. He was doing relatively good. But he received a red card, so it's 10v10 again. Georgia Revolution versus SSL in Snellville. Ball back. Ward. Green goes out wide and finds Corona. Scare at Corona. Back to back. Sinclair. Goes ahead and then goes back. Corona again. Good through ball there. Cross in the middle. And then SSL comes out of it somehow. But Georgia Revolution gets the throw in. Neto. Good through ball. The ball could come in the middle. And then there's an offside. Good triangle there. Good through movement on the side by Martinez. Neto saw that. He tried to send him in. And then when the ball was passed in the middle, then that's when they realized there was an offside. Another foul. Good position for Georgia Revolution. They may want to find the 4-0. Even though it's looking pretty good right now for them. Sinclair. Scarrett. SSL looking tired right now. Giving too much space to the players of Georgia Revolution. Too much time to think. Kosako tries to go away from everybody. Passes it in. It's a great ball. A bit too slow there, the striker. Too bad the SSL is going to probably have to interrupt their good streak in the last 5 games. 3 wins, 2 losses. They didn't start the season properly, and then they tried to manage to turn it around. This would have been a great opportunity for them to go in the playoff zone, away from relegation where it burns. But it seems that it's the next 2 games they're going to have to look at. Next 1 game, pardon. You might as well want to preserve some energies to become to be ready as possible to face the most important 90 minutes of the season, the last 90 minutes of the season. We're talking about their last 5 games. They won 3-1 against North Georgia United, 3-0 against Albion SC. Then they lost 8-1 against UMA, lost 1-5 against Potros, and won against with Columbus Elite 4-3. You know, it seems that when they lose, when they receive 1 or 2 goals, then it's easy and they're a little bit defeated over the course of the 90 minutes. You know, it's very important in a short season like the one of the UPSL to be always ready mentally, because even the goal difference at the end of the season may play a crucial factor in whether a team, in the team's position, and whether a team will be in the playoffs, title winner, Or relegated even. Here we see a big chance for Georgia Revolution. Good defending by Orson, who stepped in at the right time. Scare it. Green. Georgia Revolution in control of the game with 79 minutes on the clock. Neto. Martinez. No pressure on him. SSL just waiting for Georgia Revolution to do something. At this point, they've accepted their fate. And it seems that they're just hoping not to receive any other goal. Sinclair. Martinez asks for it. Sinclair doesn't go to him. Corona. Dangerous again. Corona. Changes for Sinclair. Martinez. Neto. One-on-one. Could go back to Martinez. Martinez. Shot from the outside. Beautiful. Beautiful goal. On the line of the 15. A bomb on the right corner. 4-0 Georgia Revolution. We see Martinez ask for the ball. No passes given to him until now. He receives it, turns around, and then the shot from the line probably was about 17, 18 yards. Diaye just looked at it because it was an absolute bomb. 4-0, and at this point, SSL probably will just want to defend this result, not receive any other. Think about the next game. Kosoko. Good through ball there. Intercepted. Scare it again. Was wide, but the ball is intercepted by Strain. Another long ball for Kosoko, who's probably exhausted of all the fighting he's had to do during this game. Sinclair. Opens, and that's a good reading by Chavez. Scare it. Scare it. By himself, scare it. Could go for the shot, decides to pass it. Ball back to him, scare it. Again, hits the ball. Or at least he tries to, because I think he hit the defender. Yapia. So now the ball is in possession of SSL. No offside there. Strain asks for it, but Kosoko decides to go by himself. Not his best decision. Now, Green, nice pass for Scarrett. And Diaye comes out of his goal. But I believe it was an offside. You see, Scarrett goes all by himself. I think he was going to go for the right foot. He passes the ball. Then he turns around, fakes it. Once again, tries to hit it. But then he just hit the air. Good attempt by him, though. Orson with a through ball. Not a bad idea. But it's read once again by the defense of Georgia Revolution, who's been almost impeccable tonight. Sinclair doesn't receive any sort of pressure there. Has all the time to think, elaborate thoughts, and execute. Sinclair, scare it. Green. Green. Martinez. Here could come another cross in the middle. One-on-one. Here comes. Scarrett is there. Doesn't hit it. And so Orson again reorganizing. Slow pace of the game at this point. Tries to nutmeg him. At least he does get a throw. Martinez probably will go on the right, and so he does. Then does a movement looking for the ball again and receives it. Nice touches by him in the second half. Sinclair could go for the shot, Sinclair. There was a foul here, and the referee goes for a yellow card. Again, really harsh on the cards today, the ref, on Kosoko. Writes his name on it, too. On the ball, Green and Sinclair. This will be definitely good practice on a free kick. Who knows? Maybe we can see something beautiful happening here. Looks like Sinclair is going on it. He does way too high. Alle stelle. Just as the wall is fixed up, Sinclair goes for the shot. Not on target. SSL struggling. It's really, really difficult to play in 10 men with this temperature, occupying all these yards. Gapia. Going long once again. Looking for Lopez, but he can't reach that one either. Almost 88 minutes on the clock. Martinez decides to start joggling in the middle of the field. They're not very respectful of his opposition. Sinclair. Scarrett by himself, then passes it out. Goes back, Martinez. Good change for Corona. Corona thinks about what to do, then passes the ball. No offside. Good tackle there, and it's a corner. The two shake hands. Corner for Georgia Revolution. There will be 3 minutes of added time. Green moving in, and the ball goes in once again. This time it's Alique Scarrett with the back of his foot. Makes it 5-0 Georgia Revolution. And now it looks very bad for SSL. We're going to go back home thinking about things they could have done better today. Cross in the middle. We're all looking at Green, the tower, but the cross is low. And Scarrett can just touch it with the back of his foot. Celebrates 5-0. Georgia Revolution still producing game. Scarrett. Green. Goes on the right. Nice pass for Corona. Let's see if he can reach it. Yes, he does. Beautiful vision there. Scarrett goes in the middle. He asks for it, but Corona probably wants his own goal. Deflection, and the ball goes out. DIA is probably thanking his defenders. He probably did not want to see that sixth goal coming in the net. Beautiful change of game by Green. Long kick. Corona probably could have passed it to Scarrett, but on the 5-0, he decided to go by himself. Kicks the ball with his left foot. Deflection, corner kick. Sinclair asked for it, but I think it will be played in. Green again looking for a goal. Here comes the ball in. Risky. Sinclair puts it down. Very little left to play now. Martinez changes for Green. Green stops it. Tries to go with a header, but Orson this time does a really good job. Tries to go away with the ball at his feet. Unsuccessfully. Green now playing as a winger. Passes the ball out for Neto. Neto for Martinez. Nice shot, nice power. But no goal. Interesting to see how Green has taken forward position now, playing as a winger. Neto gives the ball back to Martinez. He sees he has time. He goes with his left foot. Hits the football post. Martinez takes the ball back after a mistake by SSL. And now it seems that the SSL players are really having a hard time running behind the ball. Shot from the distance. No problem from Diaye. Kosoko turns around really quickly and well. Receives a foul. And this might be the last ball kicked during the game, as we're getting close to the end of the 3rd minute. Probably the last ball of the game coming out now from Gapia. Green is clearly on top of it. And it's all over. Georgia Revolution beats SSL 5-0. Many goals, 1 red card per side. Thank you for listening. We hope you had a good time. I'm Massimo Ballou.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.